Next on BYUSN, big day, big media for Big 12 football. We're live from Arlington, Texas at AT&T Stadium where everything is, yes, bigger. It's all access from Big 12 Media Days.
We'll hear from BYU head coach Kalani Sitake as well as coaches and players from Texas, Kansas, and whoever else we can fit in today.
And with that, we welcome you to BYU Sports Station, presented by the BYU Store, official outfitter of BYU fans everywhere. Live from Big 12 Media Days, home of the Dallas Cowboys, AT&T Stadium in Arlington. It is Wednesday, July 12th. I am Spencer Linton. He is Dallas Cowboys locker room coordinator, Jarom Jordan.
Amazingly, it smells good in here, despite being the visiting locker room at the AT&T Stadium. But, yeah, BYU last played in this venue in 2011 against TCU. That was a loss. Before that, it was Oklahoma in 2009, a win. So, some good vibes from 2009 in the stadium, but we could not be more excited to be here. Obviously, being in the Big 12, but being at Big 12 Media Days, it's getting real. Like, yes, BYU's in the Big 12, but it feels very real being here and being included in all of this, seeing the stretch Y on everything. This is going to be a ton of fun, man. We've waited 10 years of this show, going into our 11th season, to be in Power 5 football, and here we are.
Here we go. 12 days into the Big 12.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're going to talk to BYU head coach Kalani Sitake. As you mentioned, just an A-list guest lineup of players and coaches from opponents.
And we're going to be here the next 3 days, by the way.
Let's go.
We got you Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Hey, we're all in. This Media Day segment, by the way, presented by Feastbox, donating 10% of every order to Full of Hope, a charitable organization that feeds hungry families. Okay, let's open up our interview segment in this live portion of BYUSN with Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. Quinn, welcome to BYU Sports.
Yeah.
Thanks for opening things up with us,
How
man.
we doing? I feel honored to open it up here.
Hey, we're stoked, dude. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's going to be a long day, but hey, it's going to be fun, though.
I feel like you're on brand. You got jeans, you got boots. This is like what I would expect from a
you look comfortable.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to be. I'm trying. I feel comfortable, though.
Let's go. I think every BYU fan wants to know, now that you play for a former BYU quarterback, Steve Sarkisian, what's that relationship and dynamic like with Coach Sarkisian?
Yeah, he's a great coach, a great leader for the team. You know, what he's brought to this university has been great. Obviously, he's won national championships. He's played the position that I play. And like I said, he knows what it looks like. He knows what it's supposed to be, which ultimately is what you look for in the top guy and the top leader. So, yeah. And obviously, he was a good baller. He's a good player at BYU.
Has he reminded you about his Cotton Bowl victory?
He has.
Nice.
He has.
That was such a huge win. And we're old enough to have gone to the games when he was playing, which was super fun. And obviously, being at Texas, give us a sense of what it's like to be the Texas starting quarterback and the pressure of not only Texas, but obviously going to the SEC, want to win the league for the first time since 2009 in the final year. You're the preseason pick. There's always pressure, but like there's sort of a unique vibe, it feels like, this season for Texas.
Yeah. You know, I try not to look at it that way, kind of not pressure. I mean, I'm playing a kid's game here. I'm trying to have fun like a kid. Excuse me. But it's all fun, you know, and ultimately, if you look at it that way, it'll probably work out because you won't be as stressed mentally. But obviously, it's hard to kind of block out, you know, some stuff that's going on. But you have to. You know, I think I got a great corner around me. I got great teammates to kind of lean on, and hopefully they can lean on me too. But yeah, like you guys said, I'm really fired up for this year. I'm excited. It's been a great offseason. Sorry.
Absolutely. Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers is with us on BYU Sports Nation. You were rolling, and the Texas offense was rolling. Then you get nicked up and banged up a little bit. So how are you feeling overall health-wise as you move into a new season?
Yeah, I feel great. I really took a lot of time this offseason to kind of get how I want to feel. And this is the healthiest I've felt since, you know, probably when I was a kid, you know, just being all, you know, wobbly. But no, I feel a lot better. I got a good trainer in Chad Marr who's helped me out with some issues that I got going on kind of in the hips because I had double hernia surgery back in high school, which obviously is no joke. It's no joke, and it kind of moved to my lower back, and, you know, give so much credit to Chad Marr. He's up in South Lake where I'm from, but he's helped me out a whole lot kind of with, you know, stabilizing and just feeling better overall.
We were talking before the interview. You know Jake Oldroyd's brother? that what you were
Yeah,
saying?
we went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him a little bit. He's pretty good at golf.
Is he pretty good at golf?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Jake,
It's been a while since I've seen him, but the last time I did, because we went to the same elementary school. So yeah.
South Lake Carroll guys, McKay Jacobson, BYU fans know, which is awesome. You return a ton on offense. Obviously, Bijan Robinson's gone, who he's with Tyler Algier, BYU guy with the Falcons. We're excited about that connection. But you have your whole O-line back. You got a ton of ballers led by Xavier Worthy. You have one of the best tight ends in the country, which is awesome. What is it going to be like to have this offense this year as the starting quarterback?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, the biggest part of it is having all 5 of those guys back at the front of the line. And some of those guys were true freshmen last year playing, and for them to step up the way they did last year, I'm giving so much credit, and I'm excited to see what they do this year. And then in the receiver room, I mean, the sky's the limit with those guys. They made a decision. They want to be They want to be one of the best receiving groups in the nation, and I believe it. It's very reachable for them. And I'm excited. We got A.D. Mitchell, obviously, and then Jordan Whittington came back, decided to come back another year, which is absolutely huge. I mean, I was begging him, please come back. I mean, he's just one of those guys, though.
We felt differently when we saw the news, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just.
We're like, oh no.
No, he's a baller, and obviously he's good for the younger guys coming in like Niblett and a couple other younger guys. But yeah, I'm fired up for this year.
There was a portion of the Texas Twitter mob, and so passionate, that felt a level of depression when you decided to cut your hair, Quinn. So walk us through that decision, because like that, it had like a personality of its own almost.
Was there a Twitter account or anything for it? Like, did anyone?
Man, I don't have Twitter. I don't.
That's probably good.
Yeah, I don't. I gave the password and username to somebody else, so I don't look at Twitter. But I definitely heard the noise for sure. So it always comes. I mean, they loved it, but it was ultimately I looked at it like it was time for me to kind of grow up, kind of get myself right, and it was too long, man. It was like touching my back. I was kind of weird.
It was impressive, Quinn. It was very impressive.
Yeah. It was awesome. I don't know what conditioner you used, but it was nice, man. October 28th, BYU's going to play at Texas, and they played there in 2014. They played there in 2011. So there's a little bit of history within the last decade or so. What's game day like at Texas for those who haven't been, and the BYU fans that will go to that game?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to expect a great crowd, great turnout, 100,000 people. If you have a good view of the city, probably if you're sitting on the north side. So I mean, it's going to be a great environment, a whole lot of fun, especially for BYU fans to kind of come down to Austin. Obviously there's a whole lot to do in Austin. So before the game or after the game, you guys are going to have a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
But being in DKR personally, it's nothing like it. Nothing like that rush when you're running out of the tunnel. So hope you guys come and be loud.
Yeah,
be awesome.
Texas, of course, we chronicled, picked to finish first. BYU picked to finish 11th. The Cougars making a new transition. So when you view BYU football, like what is your perspective of what BYU brings to this conference this year?
Yeah, I think it's great. Like you guys were saying earlier, you wanted to be a part of a big conference, and I think it's great for you guys to come and be a part of the Big 12. I mean, we couldn't be more excited for the changes that were made by the administration. And it's kind of cool to kind of switch things up and play, different teams instead of playing the same guys.
Yeah.
And obviously, Coach Sarkisian being at BYU, I'm sure he's pretty excited too. So it should be a good time.
Quinn, great to have you on BYU Sports Station, man. We appreciate the time, your great personality, and wish you the best of luck moving forward, man.
Thank you, guys.
Stay comfortable in the booth, man.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Nice to meet you, Quinn.
I'm going to try. I mean, these are pretty comfortable. Luke Casey. Shout out Luke Casey.
Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
I love it. Thanks, Quinn.
All right. Still on the way from Big 12 Media Days in Arlington, Texas. Of course, we have the head football coach from BYU, Kalani Sitake, on how he views an 11th place prognostication from the Cougars. This is BYU Sports Nation from Big 12 Football Media Days.
BYU Sports Nation is sponsored by Feastbox Global Grill, a unique dining experience featuring Texas, Hawaiian, and Korean meats. Time to feast.
Welcome to a partnership where customer experience comes first. It's our focus. It's your expectation. We provide support to those that go the extra mile for all of us. Supplying products, training, and service for generations. Learn more at bradyindustries.com.
BYU Food to Go's convenient location at 2191 North Canyon Road in Provo makes bringing popular BYU foods to your next event easy. Everything's ready when you need it at the drive and load pickup. You drive in and they load no matter the weather. And stop in the on-site creamery for great BYU chocolate milk and ice cream. BYU Food to Go, bringing campus to your table. Call for details, 801-422-5001.
Every day, I help an animal walk again.
I believe that having special needs animals has brought an extra layer of richness to the fabric of our family.
Not many people take in these special needs guys, but in the end, they're the best ones.
It's unbelievable. It's like his disability has disappeared.
Every step just proves to me that these dogs can get through anything.
We are live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas.
Yes, we are, Spence.
The beginning of Big 12 Media Days. 3 days of BYU Sports Nation, beginning with today. And this is, as always, your day-to-day BYU Sports play-by-play. I am Spencer Linton, teamed up with Jarom Jordan. We just talked to Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers.
Fun guy.
It's going to be fast and furious. His head coach, Steve Sarkisian, is upcoming, as is BYU head football coach Kalani Sitake. But right now, and just a few minutes ago, we had a chance to sit down with the head coach of the TCU Horned Frogs, who went to the national championship last year.
I heard that, Spence.
Unbelievable. Here is Sonny Dykes on TCU and his relationship with BYU of sorts. Coach, as you start again after what was just a magical season and really didn't end that long ago, where do you go to find the emotional fortitude to get going again after all you expended last season?
Yeah, it was a grind. I mean, 15 weeks. It was a blast, though, obviously, and it was fun thing to be a part of. It was the first time I'd been involved, in the college football playoff and just playing for that long. And we learned a lot. I mean, we really did. Learned a lot as a program. A lot of things we can take from it. And so that's what's exciting is you go and you have that, and it happens to you, and now you feel like you're more prepared the next time you have that opportunity. And, that's the whole thing that you want to keep doing is just get better. Get better every day and get your program better and put your players in a better situation to be successful. And it's there's just so many decisions that you make along the way, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, and then the thing you always have to do is adjust from there and make sure you get better.
You certainly have experience coaching against BYU. There was a game, I believe, in 2015 back in at Cal.
Yep.
Now BYU's in the league. What do you think of BYU and the new additions in the league this year?
Yeah, I've had plenty of opportunities to coach against BYU. Really, going back to my days as an offensive coordinator at Arizona. I think, I got hired at Arizona to kind of fix the offense, and we came to Provo in my first game, and I think we had about 30 yards at halftime against BYU. Yeah, and I remember thinking this may be the shortest tenure as a play caller in college football history. And then a year later, we played them in the Vegas Bowl and won the game. And
7-8, yeah.
Willie Tuitama.
Yeah, Willie Tuitama and Rob Gronkowski, and had a pretty good little group of players. And so, had those experiences against them. And as you said, played them at Cal, and really they cost us going to a bowl game. I think my second year at Cal came in and beat us. At the end of the season and didn't make a bowl game that year because we lost the game. But, look, I've got tremendous respect for BYU. I mean, my dad and Lavelle Edwards are close friends. And so I grew up a BYU fan watching Ty Detmer, being from Texas and his dad being a high school coach and kind of knowing the Detmer family. And so I've always been a big fan of the program, have a lot of respect for him, really like Kalani. I think he's just a great guy, really good football coach. And so, I'm excited about the addition. I mean, BYU has a tremendous history of playing great football. I think you know, they're going to bring a lot to the Big 12, and so I think we're all excited about competing against them. And you know what you're going to get when you play a BYU team. They're going to be big and strong and tough and play hard, and so you know we're excited about what they bring to the league.
All right, Coach, we'll finish with this in about 15 seconds. What's the one bit of advice you would give to Kalani Sitake?
Oh, I mean, look, I'd probably ask him for advice instead of give advice. I mean, you know, I think that the league is fun. I mean, it's a good league. It's a really good league from top to bottom. I think that's the thing that you know, really surprised me. I think being here first year as a head coach in the league was just there's not a layup. You know, every single team in the league is very good, very competitive. They all have their own brand of football and style. And you better be prepared to play well every Saturday. And if you don't, you're going to get beat. I mean, your guys have got to go out and they got to play at a high level week in and week out.
Coach, pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, we appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Good to see you guys.
TCU head coach Sonny Dykes and his Horned Frogs picked to finish 5th in the preseason poll. Of course, BYU picked to finish 11th. There's a lot of turnover for sure.
Especially for TCU. 8 draft picks. 8
Amazing.
draft picks. But they're going to be good again, too. Like, what TCU did last year is unbelievable. It gives BYU hope. It gives teams like BYU hope that, yeah, preseason, you're picked low. They were 4th to last. What is BYU in the Big 12 again, by the way?
3rd or 4th to last.
Yeah, that's exactly right. At
Yeah.
11th, 12th, 13th, 4th to last. Exactly.
Yeah,
so it gives you hope that you can exceed expectations. And I think we're going into this season, Spence, with the proper approach, which is we don't know when it's going to be. We don't know how tough the Big 12 is going to be. If 2021, if last offseason, which we were very hyped about, it didn't live up to expectation. If that team was walking into the Big 12 now, they still might be on the fringe of the middle, right? Where would you have that team? I would have them like 7th.
Yeah, probably 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
As good as that team was.
As good as that was. And
Yeah.
think about the NFL talent that BYU produced. 3 draft picks, none of which were around 6 or 7. Like 2021's draft was special, but like 2 or 3 of those come in the 7th round. You kind of sneak in there. You have the number 2 pick, obviously. I'm excited about what BYU can do in the next couple of years. I don't expect BYU to be a top 5 team in the league this year. But what if they are the TCU, like what of last year? I'm not saying they're making the college football playoff, but I'm just saying, what if BYU can go 8+ and kind of surprise even us who know the team very well of going, okay. Now a surprise could go the other direction too. Like if BYU goes 4-8, we are surprised that it didn't go as well as we thought.
A CBS Sports article last week discussing the best and worst case scenarios for each of the Big 12 teams pretty much summed up how I think where everyone in the BYU fan base is.
And you said what, 5 to 8? 5 was your number, right?
That spectrum.
I agree with that.
5 to 8.
I think 4 is probably the low end. Like some injuries, you lose some close games. Like what did TCU do that separated them? They won all these close games.
Yeah.
Like
that's what it takes.
Yes.
That's what it takes.
The greatest BYU teams pulled out these tight wins in tough competition.
Multiple times in the season.
Think about 14-1 BYU in 96. The opener, you have to come back in the last couple of minutes to beat Texas A&M. Wyoming, you get a field goal as time expires to get to overtime and then make a field goal.
A 3-point win over SMU that season.
I forget about that, right? But it happens. SMU, Sonny Dykes before TCU. There's a connection. And then, of course, in the Cotton Bowl against Kansas State, you have to pull off a back-and-forth game where in the fourth quarter you have to score. And even you look at 1984, like Hawaii. They had more one-score games than you'd think. It wasn't like BYU just blew everybody out. You have to be on the high side of the one-score games. Can BYU do that? Because, look, if BYU makes a bowl game this year, we good, man. We don't need some crazy run or challenge for the conference title. Like, this year is such a weird year. It would be weird enough if it was just the 4 coming in. Like, oh, it's new, it's different. What is this like? Not everybody plays each other. Remember, this league has been fun in that everybody played each other because they had 10 teams, 9 conference games.
Yeah.
Now it's different. BYU doesn't play a couple of teams. But you have the Texas dynamic and Oklahoma of we're out next year. Are they trunky, to use a missionary phrase? Are they bigger than this, going to the SEC the next couple of years? Texas hasn't won this league since 2009. Like, Oklahoma had a super down year.
Yeah.
Like, yet they're 1-3 in the preseason poll. Like, Everybody expects them to do well this year. I get the Texas thing. They return a ton.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Every year they deserve to be the preseason
On
pick.
paper,
probably.
it makes perfect sense. But I feel like more so than ever this year,
yes,
it makes sense.
There is parity in the league, but the talent gap and sort of the who returns and what's their gap is big for Texas. Oklahoma, I don't know what to expect from them this year, by the way. I expect Kansas State to be good. Texas Tech should be good, too. They return a team that lost some close games. I believe all 5, maybe 4 of the 5 were decided by one score last year. TCU at 5, Baylor at 6. Baylor had a down year. Oklahoma State's interesting, too. They got a first-place vote, by the way, in the media poll. They're at 7. UCF is expected to be the best of the new 4. Gus Malzahn's there, used to be at Auburn.
You got a great quarterback.
They recruit really well in Florida. Okay, Kansas at 9. If Kansas had any kind of defense, they'd be in the top 5. Like, their offense is unbelievably good.
Their quarterback is the preseason offensive player of the year in the conference.
We live in a universe where Kansas has the best quarterback in the league.
Jalen Daniels.
We're hoping to talk to him later in the program.
Is slated. We think we're going to try and get him on the show today.
Yeah,
would love to talk to him.
We would love to talk to him. Yeah.
But referencing again quickly that CBS Sports article, it said BYU is a team that could win 0 games in conference, and they're a team that could make a run to the Big 12 championship. Like, that's the spectrum.
I would like to think that the high end is that high, but this year I'm a little hesitant to embrace that. Also,
it's a whole lot of we don't know.
But zero ain't happening, and 9 ain't happening. Come on.
There's way too much talent on this BYU team to go winless in conference.
I think BYU
never happen.
BYU gets at least 3 wins in league.
At worst.
If not, hopefully 5.
At worst, 3 wins in conference. I'm telling you, it's not going to be worse than that. Yeah, for sure.
Cold take us. I dare you on that.
Yes. What a fun day. This is
We're just getting started.
Such a fun, fantastic
Let's
time.
go.
Okay. Still to come on the show, we are attempting to get Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian and former BYU quarterback legend on the program. We already talked to his quarterback, Quinn Ewers. You just heard from Sonny Dykes. More A-list guests on the way from Arlington, Texas, and AT&T Stadium. This is BYU Sports Nation from Big 12 Media Days.
BYU Sports Nation is presented by the BYU Store, official outfitter of BYU fans everywhere.
If you're looking to build your brand awareness and increase market share as BYU moves into the Big 12, this is the place, BYU Athletics. We can provide the tools you need to make sure your company is seen and heard. BYU Athletics is where you can align your products and services with loyal fans that cheer for our Cougars. And they can also help your business win. Learn more about what a partnership with BYU Athletics and your company will look like. After all, this is the place. Email sponsorship at byu.edu today.
Dexter & Dexter is a full-service law firm offering a wide range of legal services. Since 1995, we have helped more than 20,000 Utahns both to navigate life's challenges and to make the most of life's opportunities. From personal injury to business law, and from adoption to bankruptcy, we are passionate about shouldering your burdens. To learn more about scheduling a no-obligation consultation, visit dexterlaw.com.
Welcome back to Big 12 Media Days in Arlington, Texas. The Longhorns picked to win the conference. We just spoke with their quarterback, Quinn Ewers, and we are now pleased to welcome in the head coach of Texas football and former BYU quarterback legend, Steve Sarkisian. Coach, great to have you on BYU Sports Nation.
Appreciate you guys having me on. This is kind of a welcome home in a weird way.
Yeah. Listen, we're tied for first for the people that like you the most today. As a former BYU guy. But, yeah, obviously you've had a tremendous coaching career. People remember your 95 and 96 with you. What's it been like now going into year 3 at Texas where, hey, there's a unique dynamic in the last year of the Big 12 going into the SEC next year?
It's been a great journey. You know, this is obviously University of Texas, special place, and humbled, honored to be the head coach here. We've been trying to build something here that will be sustainable for years to come, and I think we've got ourselves in a good position with the players on our roster, with the staff continuity, and we're going to need it. This is a really tough conference, really from top to bottom. There's really good teams, really good coaches, and it's always a challenge in the Big 12 to go from September all the way through into December and try to be on top.
Your quarterback, Quinn Ewers, is a cool character, right? Really relaxing. And he told us, he's like, look, I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to enjoy this game.
Playing a kid's game.
Yeah, I'm playing a kid's game. What makes him unique? Of all the great quarterbacks and offenses you've worked with, what makes Quinn unique?
Well, he has unique arm talent. You know, when you watch him throw, he's not your prototypical robotic quarterback that does every drill exactly right, and his footwork and all that. He can make every throw from 1 knee to 1 foot to 2 feet to whatever that looks like, and that makes him definitely unique. But I do think he's much more than that, though, too. I think he's got great rapport with his teammates. He's got tremendous work ethic. He puts in the time and the effort. But he's the same guy today. We show up to media days, and he's got his creased jeans and his cowboy boots on. You know, he is who he is, and that's what I love about it as well, that he's very comfortable in his own skin with who he is.
When you were at BYU, did you think, hey, I want to be a quarterback, or sorry, I want to be a coach later? And how much sort of influence at that time did you get from the BYU offense and the history there?
Well, that was a great time. Like I had unbelievable rapport with Coach Edwards and Coach Chow at that time, and I knew at that time I was not the most physically gifted guy. They had coached a lot more, physically gifted quarterbacks than I was at that time, and then a lot more have come after me. So I had to find a niche to play the game where I could be. We used to say it all the time, the fastest mental player on the field every play. And that's how I tried to play. And to do that, I had to pick their brains all the time. And it worked for me. I didn't know at that time that I wanted to be a coach. I had people telling me that that's what I should do. Inevitably, you start to realize that you have a passion for it, and then the history is what it is. You get involved, and you're fortunate enough to get around good people and coach good players, and you follow the right path, and it works out. But at that time, those were great coaches, man, and the style of play, we didn't run the ball maybe like other people did, but we moved the football effectively because of an efficient passing game, and it's always been something I've held on to.
Yeah, you ran it pretty well against Utah that season. Just
that was a fun one,
dude. I had 12 pass attempts that game, man. I'm thinking I'm like, here it is, man. I get to redeem myself. The year before, I threw 4 picks against him. Okay, I didn't forget that. And I was like, here we go. We're going up to Rice Eccles, man. We're going to take down the Utes. I threw the ball 12 times. There was snow everywhere, believe me. But Ronnie Jenkins and Brian McKenzie, they had a heck of a day that day.
That was special. What do you remember the most from that '96 team? Because to us, that's still. I mean, you talk about the national championship team; they got to be up there. '83's up there. '96 is one of the greatest teams ever at BYU.
Yeah, what I remember about that team was a lot of it was the off season. The year before, we had a good team. I think we went like 8-4 or something like that.
You finished well against Fresno State, you specifically,
and we tie for the conference championship. But we didn't get selected to go to a bowl game.
Different era.
And we essentially broke the streak, and it was like 20-some-odd years where BYU had gone to a bowl game. And so I think we all kind of that galvanized us in a sense of, man, we got something to go prove. And we had to start off. We played A&M in week 1, came to Provo, and we got a big win. And we went on a heck of a run and a really cool journey together, culminating here in Dallas, winning the Cotton Bowl against Kansas State. So that was a really tight-knit group. There may have been more talented BYU teams, but I don't know if there's been one that was as tight and together as that one was, that won so many big games along the way in that season.
Steve Sarkisian, the head football coach of Texas, is with us on BYU Sports Nation. Coach, as you look at the preseason prognostications, and I know it's just like, yeah, whatever, media's going to do their thing, they're going to say what they say, but they again have tabbed Texas as the team to beat. How do you approach that, especially this year, the final year of Texas in the Big 12?
Well, I think there's two things of what you said, and then I'm going to dive into it. You said, again, pick Texas. The last time Texas was picked to win the Big 12 was in 2009.
And you did.
Yeah, I know, but you know, a lot of times there's a misnomer of what the expectations have been here. But I will also say this: that's why I came to Texas, and I think that's why a lot of the kids that we've recruited are here now. Is, you know, we've got a great brand, we've got a great platform, and we're in a tremendous conference, and so you come here because you want those expectations, you want those opportunities, you want to play in those big games, and so expectations are what they are. The reality of it is, what's going to define us is the way we play in the fall. And so this stuff's great, you know, and what I love about it is I love college football. I love the fanfare. I love the excitement. Media Days signifies football's right around the corner. But ultimately, we've got to put it on the field, and we've got to play good football, and we're going to need to play good football if we want to be champions.
Well, we're looking forward to October 28th, the DKR. That'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be great. I'm excited for it. It'd be good for a lot of people, and be great to see a lot of people as well.
Coach, we appreciate the time. We know you're a busy man. BYU fans love you, and that is probably a huge understatement. So we appreciate the time. Your quarterback spoke glowingly about you and said that you've reminded him about the Cotton Bowl win a time or two. So.
He needs to know.
Well, you know, that's where we play OU every year, is at the original Cotton Bowl. And so when I walk out there, I always, you know, I'll find a player or two, you know. I came back. We were down 2 scores. We threw 2 touchdowns, came back and win, man. It was awesome.
You're like James Franklin right here.
And by the way, I said, and if you really do your research, I got a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So there's a lot that went into that. I said, so I wasn't perfect either, just so you guys know.
It was worth it.
It was absolutely worth it. Coach, thanks for the time.
Thanks, all right, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Up next on BYU Sports Nation, we'll keep our interviews rolling with the head coach from BYU, Kalani Sitake. How does he feel about the 11th place prognostication, and why the Big 12 logo on the BYU uniform means something extra special today? This is BYU Sports Nation.
This portion of BYU Sports Nation is presented by Maersk, your e-commerce logistics shipping partner.
They prefer to be bringing the heat, getting set for success, demonstrating their drive. But when their blood and sweat turns to tears or anything else, we lay the groundwork for BYU's athletes to hit the ground running again, and you as well. Intermountain Healthcare, official medical provider for BYU Athletics.
Celebrate rewardflation at Mountain America. Get double rewards on every purchase with your Mountain America Rewards credit card to help with fuelflation, foodflation, and phytoflation. And on top of double rewards, every time you use your card, you'll be entered in Mountain America's smartphone giveaway. Details at macu.com/double. Double your rewards today.
Yeah. We on the mission. You ready? Let's go. We we on the mission. Yeah, we on the mission. The mission is to win and destroying competition.
And BYU wins it. Called to serve in the Lavelle Edwards Stadium mission.
Nice.
As the words say in the song. We're on a mission.
We're on a mission.
BYU football
So
is
mature.
very much on a mission into the Big 12 Conference.
How fun was that with Sark? It's awesome.
I've wanted to talk to him about so many of the things we finally got to talk to him about for years. Like that was fantastic.
Gone an hour.
Yes. And
Thanks
I loved
for taking the time.
I love his attention to the details of those specific games in '96. His stats. He brought up the fact he's like, I only threw 12 passes in that game. Yes.
Yes. I wonder if he understands how much we like him. You know what I mean? You and I are like 13 and 14 going to those games. And now now we get to be in the same league. Like, we've rooted for Sark his whole coaching career. Wish the best, except for October 28th. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, really cool stuff. Huge show happening, in case you were wondering here. From a visiting.
This is the biggest show we've ever done.
A visiting locker room. This is there, right?
This is the #1 show in BYU Sports Nation history. Like, importance,
Big 12
scale,
football media
where we are,
days.
who we're talking to.
Yeah,
we should submit this one for an Emmy.
This
okay? Timmy, don't mess it up, okay? You're doing great.
It's pretty fantastic. He is Jarom Jordan. I am Spencer Linton. And not too long ago, just to add to this amazing guest lineup, we had a chance to speak with BYU football head coach, because we cover the Cougars.
Oh, yeah, that.
Kalani Sitake, about how he feels about this whole setup in Texas and BYU's implementation into the Big 12, the logo on the jerseys, being picked to finish 11th, all that and more. Here's Kalani Sitake, 2-on-1 on BYU Sports Nation. Coach, I think we are 12 days into BYU being officially a member of the Big 12. You step into, yes.
Oh,
12 days,
nice, dude.
right? BYU being in the Big 12. You step into AT&T Stadium and you see this setup. What are your initial reactions and impressions to everything that's going into this?
Oh, just excitement. I mean, I'm so excited, and this is more of the fan in me. You know what I mean? So, I can't imagine, like as a young boy, that this would be in the mix. And so now that we're here, I'm just really excited for the fans and the opportunities that they're going to have to. I think they're the best part of BYU and athletics. And so I just want to show them off a little bit, and this type of platform, this type of arena, and these type of places. I mean, this is what it's all about. And I like the innovation, the creativity that the leadership of the conference has shown. And so I'm really excited about it. I regret that I missed the celebration. You know what I mean? I was trying to do my fatherly duties.
Hey, we get it.
Yeah, but I watched it. It was a lot of fun. And so just hoping to have some more celebrations as we go throughout the season.
Yeah, I saw your comments on the feed. I was like, oh, there's Kalani. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, we've tried, the team, the broadcast, the market, everything. We've tried our best in independence to do as big as we possibly could. What's it like to plug into a league like this and be at AT&T Stadium and see the sort of grandeur and innovation and plug into a league like this?
Yeah, I think the first thing is just appreciation that we're here, and I can't help but think about all the people that were involved in all of it, and then it's not just the people that are here or even the administration leadership, but the people even before. And so I keep thinking about Lavelle. It's a really cool feeling for me, and to think about all those that have played in the past and the alumni. I'm hearing so much excitement and energy from people that have played before and the fans. And they're all fans, but it's just the energy. You can feel it. I know you guys can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's almost so thick you can just grab it.
That's the humidity, actually.
Is that what it is? Okay. Well, yeah.
It's 105 this week.
And it makes you sweat. So that's energy is the humidity.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Now, Kalani, you've been on quite a journey here, and at BYU, correct me if I'm wrong, in 1994, the Cougars were still a member of the WAC, and then you serve your mission, you come back, they're in the Mountain West at the end of your career.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you pick up BYU as an independent, now in the Big 12. You also coached in the Pac-12. But to see the Big 12 logo on a BYU uniform, what type of emotion does that bring to you, given your history with Lavelle and everything that you've done and all the conferences you've been involved with?
Yeah, I think, well, and even through independence, when you watch and you play against other teams or you're watching football, you see the different logos that are on there, and basically the label of P5, right? And you're like, man, that's pretty cool. And then being able to go to all these different venues and see these teams that have a P5 label on their brand on their jerseys, and now to see it connected to our stuff, it's really cool. Like, here we go, man, and it feels big time. But I want to make sure that that we're not just happy with being invited, and that we represent well in many ways on the field of competition, but also in who we are. Let's remember what got us here, and it's us being unique and different, but also highlighting the fact that what we stand for and the things that we represent. So I think we can do all that, get everything accomplished, and even have some positive, wonderful memories. So I think it's going to be. I like that we're here, but my mind's focused on with appreciation. I mean, today's just showing for appreciation, but it's like, okay, let's make sure that we give everything we got and that we represent well, and that even means competing on the field.
So the competition manifested itself initially with this preseason poll, BYU 11th. A lot of unknown, right, going into the season, not only about how hard the league will be, but kind of how all the 21 transfer portal guys mix in. What's your reaction to kind of expectations from the media in the league?
Yeah, I never really worry about that, but I look at the last 3 years and how there's 6 different teams that have played for the championship.
Wild.
A lot of parity.
And so exactly. So there's not a wide gap between them all, and so I know that the new teams coming in are going to be excited and energized to represent. So it's going to raise the level of competition even more. But I'm excited to see how we raise our competitiveness. So. It's going to be fun, man. I'd be worried if they were spot on with their predictions, but so far, from what I'm seeing, they're not really, they haven't been spot on. So you're saying there's a chance.
TCU was picked near the bottom last year. They played for a national championship.
They were 4th to last. Everyone wants to be the TCU, right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the hope and the goal. But as you look at Big 12 competition, BYU's played a ton of Pac-12 teams in the recent past, and there have been a few Big 12 teams sprinkled in there with Baylor and West Virginia in 2016. But how would you define just Big 12 style of play overall?
Well, I think it's gone through phases, and so right now you've seen high-powered offenses, and but I've been around these coaches for the last couple of years, and then I've known a number of them for many years with all the coaching events that we've been a part of, and I've been really impressed with all of them, and so I know they're great leaders, and I know they'll have their teams ready, and so the competition is going to be up there, and that's what we tried to do in independence is I told Tom, let's get them all. There's some lessons that we have to learn right now, in this anticipation that maybe something like this will happen, and as he worked with his staff to put together a schedule. All he needed to hear from me was, "Yep, let's go." And so even some of the times that we didn't work out in our favor, there's a lot of lessons that we learned as a program that I don't think you can understand unless you just go through it. So we're trying to simulate what this would be like, and now we're here. Let's see what happens. I think I've been really impressed with the leadership and the people that I worked around with at BYU, and so. Now let's see how this all comes up. Let's see how our preparation has worked out, and especially the last couple of years we've known that this is going to happen, and so you saw the sense of urgency even more to get better in a quicker pace, and so here we are in 2023, and let's ready to roll.
I've been calling for tougher schedules for a long time, Kalani. You know this. The ramp up ended up being what we wanted, right? Which is exciting. If there was no P5, it would. Yeah. Anyway, another day. Kingsley Suamatia is the Coug on the all preseason team. How do you feel about him being mentioned as one of the best linemen in this league, which is a pretty big accomplishment?
Yeah, he's one of the best linemen in the country, and a lot of people know it. He knows that there's a lot of expectation on him, and so we're just happy with what he's done for us and what he continues to do for us. So we'll build off of that, and he's in a group of O linemen that's going to be crazy competition there. So there's a lot of great players there, and they're going to be fighting for playing time. And I imagine that we're going to have the best 5 on the field, and I'm excited that he's leading the charge.
You're looking sharp in your jacket and tie. Was this a Kalani decision, or did this come from somewhere else that you all show up in jackets and ties?
Well, I mean, the guys look great. They're in suits. I'm in a sports coat and slacks. You know, I like to say I'm in between sizes, so I'm not going to get anything. You know, but I realize I've been saying that for 20 years now. So, yeah, I still have the suit that I got